We did it. That's the deal. Very good. And I thank all of you for putting up with me every week, or at least as often as you've managed to do it. Okay.
Well, it will go. I want to go.
We're good?
No, we'll go.
Just trying to get our Instagram up and running. Locked again?
No, it just wouldn't go live.
All right, Instagram will catch up. We hope.
Now it goes.
Okay. Pranavam Pavanakuma Kalavana Pavaka Gyanagan Jasu Hridayaga Pasinram Sarachapatha Atulita Baladhana Himshala Badeham Danujavana Krishna Gyani Nama Graganyam Sakala Guna Nidhana Vanaranam Adisham Raghupati Priya Bhaktam Atajatam Namam Goshpadi Kritavarisham Mashaki Kritarakshasam Ramayana Mahamalaratnam Nande Nilatmajam Anjananandaram Viram Janaki Shokanashanam Kapisamakshahantaram Nande Lanka Bhankaram Langa Sindhu Salilam Salilam Yoshokavahi Chanakatma Jaya Adaitane Dadalanka Namamitam Pranjali Ranjaneyam Manojavam Marutulya Vegam Jitendriyam Budhimatam Vardishtam Athatmajam Vanarayutamukham Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe Anjaneya Matipatalanam Kanchana Kamaniya Vigraham Shalakam Dudam Darshana Maham Madhyamam Anjaneya Matipatalanam Kanchana Kamaniya Vigraham Shalakam Dudam Darshana Maham Madhyamam Anjaneya Matipatalanam Kanchana Kamaniya Vigraham Shalakam Dudam Darshana Maham Madhyamam Anjaneya Matipatalanam Kanchana Kamaniya Vigraham Shalakam Dudam Darshana Maham Madhyamam Anjaneya Matipatalanam Kanchana Kamaniya Vigraham Shalakam Dudam Darshana Maham Madhyamam Anjaneya Matipatalanam Kanchana Kamaniya Vigraham Shalakam Dudam Darshana Maham Madhyamam Anjaneya Matipatalanam Kanchana Kamaniya Vigraham Shalakam Dudam Darshana Maham Madhyamam Anjaneya Matipatalanam Kanchana Kamaniya Vigraham Shalakam Dudam Darshana Maham Madhyamam Anjaneya Matipatalanam Kanchana Kamaniya Vigraham Shalakam Dudam Dar Parijata taramula vasanam bhavayami pavamananandanam yatra yatra raghunatha kirtanam tatra tatra kritamastakhanjali Vashpavari paripurna lochanam Martinamat rakshasantakam Bolo Bajranga Bali Hanuman ki jai. Namo, 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 Namo. Anjani Nandana Namo, 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 Namo. Namo, 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 Anjani Nandana Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai 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 Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram Jai Hanuman Jai Hanuman Jai Bajranga Bali Baba Hanuman Jai Bajranga Bali Jai Hanuman Sankatamochan Kripanidhan Sankatamochan Kripanidhan Jai Siya Ram Jai Jai Hanuman Jai Siya Ram Jai Jai Hanuman Jai Siya Ram Jai Jai Hanuman Jai Siya Ram Jai Hanuman Jai Hanuman Jai Bajranga Bali Baba Hanuman Jai Bajranga Bali Jai Hanuman Karuna Sagara Kripanidhan Karuna Sagara Kripanidhan Jai Siya Ram Jai Jai Hanuman 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 Jai Hanuman Jai 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 Hanuman Gosai Kripa Karo Gurudev Kenai Sankatamochan Kripanidhan Lala Langoti La Nishan Jai Siya Ram Jai Jai Hanuman Jai Siya Ram Jai Jai Hanuman Jai Siya Ram Jai Jai Hanuman Jai Siya Ram Jai Jai Hare Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Hare Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Hare Ram Sita Rama Rama Rama. Hare Rama 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 Sita Rama Rama Rama. Hare Rama 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 Sita Rama Rama Rama. Hare Rama 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 Sita Rama Rama. Hare Rama 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 Sita Rama 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 Rama Rama. Hare Rama Sita Rama. Hare Rama 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 Sita Rama Rama Rama. Hare Rama 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 Sita Rama Rama Rama. Hare Rama Sita Rama. Hare Rama Sita Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Hare Rama Rama Sita Rama Rama. Hare Rama 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 Sita Rama Rama Rama. Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Hare Ram 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 Sita Ram Ram Ram. Hare Ram 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 Sita Ram Ram Ram. Sitaram, 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 yes, Sitaram, Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 yes, Sitaram. Hare Ram, Sita Ram. Hare Ram, 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 Sita Ram, Ram, Ram. Ram 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 Sita Ram Ram 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 Ram. Hare Ram 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 Sita Ram Ram Ram. Hare Ram 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 Sita Ram Ram Ram. Hare Ram 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 Sita Ram Ram Ram. Last week I left out one part of that Hare Krishna. So I'm going to do it again. And I'm so sorry that I'm singing the same thing 2 weeks in a row. No, I'm not. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gurudev Nim Karo Baba Namah Om Namo Gurudev Nim Karo Baba Namah Om Namo Gurudev Nim Karo Baba Namah Om Namo Gurudev Nim Karo Baba Namah Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Om Namo Gurudev Nim Karo Baba Namah Om Namo Gurudev Nim Karo Baba Namah Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai 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 Jai Ram. Om Namo Gurudev. Im Karoli Baba Namah. Om Namo Gurudev. Im Karoli Baba Namah. Om Namo Gurudev. Im Karoli Baba Namah. Om Namo Gurudev. Im Karoli Baba I lost it there for a minute. It reminded me of something that happened when we were on tour in Australia many years ago. Ty was still playing with me then. We had started in Melbourne, and gone all through Australia, many places. But so many people came in Melbourne that we agreed to come back and do another kirtan at the end of the tour. And by that point, it was really hot. I don't know, we went in the summer. That was the last time we ever went in the summer to Australia. Because everybody's on the beach, usually. But it was so hot. We got to the hall, and there was no time to do a sound check. And, I mean, we were really fast sound check. And I was sweating, and there was no air conditioning. I was really cranky. Very cranky. So I was just really pissed off and just in a bad mood. And we started playing. Everybody's singing along. And at some point, in my mind, I just said to Maharaji, I said, what would it be like if I could really sing to you? And immediately, this wave came over me. And I just started going like, and Ty was sitting playing tabla, and he was looking over at me like trying to follow me, I don't know, I was just like, it was too funny. And finally I came back to earth, and it was just hilarious. I can still remember the look on his face was like, so. All right, let's do some questions and stuff. What do we got? Oh, so we're doing something new this time, and so well, ultimately, all ways lead to the same place. Our true being, our true nature. I certainly don't have any answers for you. I do whatever I feel like doing. And I don't even know why you think you have to choose right now. Just do something. Maybe it's just a way of your mind keeping you from doing anything. Just do something. And ultimately, little by little, maybe you'll feel more comfortable in something, and that's what it is. That's what it'll be. It's not such a big deal, Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Just go with it, The whole idea of trying to work through this situation is part of your path anyway, so no one can tell you what to do. I do it all. I don't care what it is. If it makes me feel good or helps me when I feel bad, that's what I do. Singing to Krishna, singing to Tara, chanting Om Mani Padme Hum, which is to Avalokiteshvara Chenrezi, they're all the same, ultimately. The paths may be taught differently. Of course, if you've taken, or if you're going to decide to take a transmission or lineage and join a particular group, well, then go for it. Once you join a group, you should stay with it as best you can, unless you find that it's just after years, it's just not working for you. Then I would talk to your teacher and tell him your problems or your situation. But this whole egoistic nonsense of thinking you have... First of all, you can't surrender to Krishna anyway. Who do you think you are? Krishna surrenders you when he wants you, not before. And same with the Buddha. It's just, you think you're doing something in Buddhist teaching, supposedly. You think it's up to you to do the practice. The way of surrender is a very different way of thinking about things. But the path is actually not any different. I mean, the actual results of the path. Yes, some teachers would say, some teachers of this, Krishna would say, oh no, this is the way. And some teachers of Buddhist path would say, no, they're not all the same, you have to do it this way. Maybe they know. I certainly don't. But I could see that you're stuck in this point, and this is all egoistic nonsense. And just, relax, take it easy, enjoy life, and do what you feel like. You don't have to make a decision. And surrender happens. It's not something you do. Your mind, your ego will never surrender. Never. When the grace is there, surrender happens. So prepare for grace, purify your heart, prepare for grace. That's that path. The other path is a little different, but it depends which type of Buddhism you're talking about. In Theravadan Buddhism, it's very cut and dry. You do this, you concentrate, this is what you do, this is what you do. In Mahayana Buddhism, you cultivate compassion, and the goal is to develop what they call bodhicitta, which is, two types of bodhicitta, but simply a feeling of one with all beings, kindness and compassion and caring for all. And in Vajrayana, it's also, again, different. The first basic step in Vajrayana is to unite your mind with the mind of your guru. That's devotion. So then from there, you get the sense of direction, and then teachings can be given to you, different types of teachings. So, yada, yada, yada. Just enjoy the fact that you're totally fucked up, and, what are you going to do? A lot of these questions are about what should I do if this is happening in my life. Chant. That's my answer. I'm not Dr. Ruth, I can't give you advice what to do in your life. You have to figure that out. What I can offer you is my practice, which helps me figure out what to do. So if you do your practice, that'll help you figure out what to do. Hopefully. So we all have problems in life, and we have to deal with them. And it's very hard to see them clearly sometimes, and it's very hard to know what the best thing is to do. But we don't have to know what the best thing is to do. We just have to do the best we can and try to work through these issues. That's the whole path. It's not like, okay, I'm going to fix my life, then I can get spiritual, or whatever that means. No, this is the karmic situation. Find a way to deal with it in the best way you can, and by not hurting others and not hurting yourself. It's not easy. It's not easy to distinguish the difference between those two sometimes, and it's very hard to know what to do. But there's no playbook here. There's no book that gives all the answers. There is, but that's inside your own heart. So calm yourself down, chant, do some practice. Try to become a good human being. And what does that mean to you? Okay? So, oh boy, this is a good one. Do we really want to go there? Why is sexuality such a challenge on the path? Hare Rama. Well, it's interesting, a few years ago I was on tour in Southeast Asia, and we're in Hong Kong. And I took this shuttle train way up that goes straight up this big mountain. And then you walk around the mountain. And from the top of the mountain, I looked down on Hong Kong. And all these huge skyscrapers were squeezed together, and there were ships in the harbor, and there was more construction going on, and you could feel the energy of this place, you know. And I thought, this is so weird. How did this happen? All we have to do is eat, sleep, shit, fuck. And that's the deal. Where did this come? How did this happen? That everybody gathers together and business is done and money. I mean, it just was like I was astounded by it. It was amazing. So, you know, we're in human bodies, and the body itself has different hungers, not just for food, but it has hungers for sex, for procreation of the race, of the human race, and pleasure. And anything can be what's the word you use? A challenge, so to speak. Or you can embrace it and try to see what it is. My guru was married and had 3 children. We didn't know that when we met him, actually. We only learned that after he left the body, which was very far out. But since then, we've met his children. And so obviously for him, sex was not a challenge, or it didn't seem to interfere with his becoming enlightened. So we each have karmas to work through. We each have hungers. And it's, I think, from my experience in my life and the people that I know, you have to eat. You don't have to overeat, but you do have to feed certain things. And once again, Hanuman, the path of Rama, this type of devotion is not a path of renunciation. I've read that shloka many times, that Hanuman not only bestows liberation on people, but he makes it possible for them to satisfy the desires that will be helpful for them to satisfy. So, a lot of times, sexuality can be very, very painful and unsatisfying and scary. And the energy of that can also be very difficult to understand and feel at ease with. But that's mostly psychological stuff. Animals don't seem to have a problem jumping on each other at the right times. But human beings have confused pleasure with happiness. And that's the real crux of the problem. It's not just sex, it's food, it's listening to things, it's craving pleasure from the outside world. And then, of course, it changes. It doesn't last. So that's one of the real issues. Anyway, good luck. Really, someone was asking me the whole time that I knew Ram Dass, were there any teachings of his you can think of that didn't age well or you disagreed with? I never listened to him about relationships. Never. I barely ever spoke to him about relationships because everything he said just meant no sense to me. It was not something I could work with. And he had issues with his own relationships too, you know. So earlier in life, you know, his religious, romantic relationships, sexual relationships. So it's something that was that was something. I never spoke to him hardly ever about my relationships. How does one transition from the body when it's time? How to let go when the ego is clinging? Well, that's a good question. You know, what they say is that the only thing you take with you when you leave your body is your state of mind. And obviously, most people in this world don't work on developing a harmonious state of mind, a wisdom mind, and a mind that understands or feels things in a certain way, in a so-called spiritual way. So there's a lot of fear, a lot of clinging when the body is being dropped. The point is basically that if you don't practice now, if you don't develop insight now and understanding now, and don't develop the ability to let go of negative states of mind now, then you won't be able to when the body is dissolving, when your attachment, connection to the body is dissolving. And it'll be very difficult and maybe painful and maybe scary. So that's the idea. One has to work on it now, because certainly, absolutely certainly, the time will come when the breath that we take will be the last. And how we meet that moment has a lot to do with how we live. You can't expect to be angry and greedy and nasty to people your whole life and then be smiling when you leave the body. You can't expect to, it's unreasonable to expect that go through life not caring about yourself or others and not working on your issues and just being an emotional mess your whole life, that it's going to be easy to leave the body in a good way. And the problem is most people don't really feel, in the West, they don't really believe in rebirth, so-called reincarnation or rebirth. So there's no reason to do anything. Yeah, I'll be gone, who cares? That's unfortunately most likely a mistake. But that's also karma. And one can always turn within. There is nothing, when it comes to turning within, when you really want to do practice and understand the need for it, nothing can stop you from doing that, no matter what's going on in the outside world. You can always, every moment, be practicing, or to just use a phrase. There's a lot of books on this stuff. Andrew Holicek wrote books. There's a book on my thing, that Living is Dying. He talks a lot about the Tibetan tradition of hearing in the in-between, which is called the Tibetan Book of the Dead, or liberation in the bardo, liberation in the in-between states, between birth, between death and rebirth. They seem to know what's going on there. But for most of us, let's become good human beings now. Let's work with our fear, our selfishness, our greed, our manipulative stuff, and let's try to expand our hearts now. And that will help us when it's time to leave. Do I feel that my bond with Maharaji was particularly special in comparison to other devotees? Absolutely not. Maharaji made everybody feel that they were special. because they are. That was the amazing thing. Like Larry Brilliant said, it wasn't just that I loved him when I was with him, it was like I loved everybody. And conversely, you felt loved in a way, but so did everybody else, mostly. Everybody who was attracted to him in a certain kind of way. We all felt that it was special. Every single one of us all sitting around, because he spoke. He would say something to somebody, but another person would get the message. It might be he might tell a story to somebody, or say something, and then somebody remembers, I had a dream last night, and it was just about that. And he was doing that. That was happening. Let's put it that way, all the time. So we all felt special. And that's not, I don't think that's wrong. We don't think special like it's mine and nobody else has it. It's like we felt loved. Everybody felt loved in a way that we had never felt loved before. So. How to let go, how to know when to let go and let God, and when to apply God helps those who help themselves. I don't know. You can let go and let God and still do what you have to do and give up the attachment to the results. That's one thing. But that's a good quandary to work through in your life. And the more practice you do, the more deeply you move along the path into the heart, those kind of issues just get resolved themselves. Nor do they really have to be resolved up here. They just dissolve in the heart. So there's no quick answer to that, but I just gave one. How to make Maharaji Nimkaroli Baba my guru when he is not physically anymore with us? Well, it's not up to us to make him our guru. If you feel attracted to him, it's because he's present with you. Why would you feel attracted to him? There's so many other things to do in life. There's so many other Babas out there. There's so many great saints and siddhas and devis and mas and everything out there. Well, if you're attracted to him, that's the pull. That's him pulling you to some degree, you might say. You're not going to get a certificate of acceptance as a devotee. He doesn't do that. It's up to the devotee to follow his heart. And then eventually you realize you've been thinking you're following your heart, but actually you're being pulled into your heart by the inner guru. So. Do you ever have workshops or courses to teach people to sing or lead kirtan? No, I don't. Just sing. Nobody has to teach you. And leading kirtan is not a job. It's spiritual practice. And I didn't learn how to do it as much as I just absorbed by singing with people in India. That's where I was kind of immersed in this stuff for the first time. So, but Jayutal gives kirtan workshops, or what does he call them? Something where he teaches people how to lead and sing kirtan. So if you want to do that, you can do that. But I don't do it because I just sing. And then you just sing. if I don't know, it's about love. How do you teach someone how to love? You don't have to lead kirtan. You don't have to be a kirtan leader. If it's your karma to do that, if it turns out to be good for you, you'll do it. But it might turn out to be a problem. There's a lot of egoistic stuff that can go on when you start to feel important and that you know more than other people. It's not, it's an interesting situation. Was I on the bus with Ram Das when they found Maharaji at the Kumbh Mela grounds and went to Dada's house? Yes, I was on the bus, absolutely. That was the bus from Bodh Gaya on our way to Delhi. You know, so we got to the bus got to the Mela grounds, and like I had said before, it was absolutely deserted. Where there had been 12, 15 million people a week before, there was no one. And the bus made this long, slow turn because we were just going to turn around and go. And as we were making this turn in the other direction, there's Maharaji walking. And he just kept walking. He didn't even look up. If we hadn't seen him, he didn't go like, hey, I'm here. He just kept walking. And Rameshwaras was the one who saw him. And as the bus approached, you know, he just looked at Dada. He just said to Dada, he said, the man who was with him, he said, they've come. You know, it's extraordinary. How can we practice empathy and dispassion? Well, one thing that is not useful is to try to stop your feelings. You know, feelings arise. In the dispassion part, you can't crush your feelings. Empathy is not exactly compassion, but it's a good beginning when you start to be aware of what other people are feeling and how they might be hurting and how their pain is causing them to act in certain ways, even ways that might be difficult for you to deal with. So the development of compassion is to see all that and wish them well and really feel for them and see clearly that their own issues are causing them to act this way, which is causing them tremendous suffering. And so there are many books about this. You know, Maharaji, we said, Maharaji, how do you find God? He said, serve people, love everyone, serve everyone. That's empathy and compassion. And dispassion, I'm not even sure what that means. But if it means to you that you kind of have to close off your feelings to protect yourself, that's not correct. That's not useful. So, somebody once helped to pronounce the line in the Hanuman Chalisa, Hat Bajra Ur Dwaja Biraje. Hat Bajra, Hat means hand, Vajra is the thunderbolt, Ur Dwaja Biraje. That means that's the, Dwaja is the Dvija is the cord, the sacred thread. Hat Bajra Ur Dwaja Biraje. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's not the sacred thread, that's Janeu. What is that? Dwaja Biraje. Anyway, I can look it up. Hold on. Hata Vajra Urdhvaja Viraje Kande Munja Munja Janeu Saje. In your hand shine a mace. The Vajra is, in this case, a mace, and you have a banner, Dwaja, Viraja. You're wearing a banner, a banner. I don't even know what that is. A banner. Must be some like a little shawl or something. Hata, Vajra, Ura, Dwaja, Viraje. There you go. Can I tell about my dark nights and how I moved through them? No. Too many dark nights. But chanting and my connection with Maharaji and his grace and my longing to be in that love and my inability to function in the world when I don't feel that love, that's what pushed me through all those dark nights. And still to this day, that's what helps me every day. The practice, developing a regular practice of turning within one way or another, whatever that means to you. And if you want to read about it, the book I wrote, Chants of a Lifetime, describes so much darkness. You will be too happy. And there's also an audio book of that now. Okay? So that's my plug of the day. Now, wait a second. There's some, I think at the top of this, there was some announcements. Da-da-da. Okay. Saturday, April 10th. Group Chai and Chat on Zoom at 2 p.m. April 10th. Saturday, April 17th. We're doing a group Zoom session with Brazil. And there'll be Portuguese translation. I wonder who's going to do that. Monday, April 19th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, there's a Sri Shakti Amma Festival in benefit of the reforestation of southern India. They want to plant 5 million trees. So I'll be singing at 7:30. Nina will be singing on Sunday at 4:30 for the same event. Okay? That's what's happening. And that's the deal. And once again, if you're able to and you feel moved, please help us out as best you can. Thank you. So let's see. Jai Jagarambe, Jai Jai Jagarambe, Ema Durga, Hema Durga Jagarambe Jai Jai Jagarambe Hema Durga Hema Durga Jai Jagarambe Jai Jai Jagarambe Hema Durga Hema Durga Jai Jagarambe Jai Jai Jagarambe Hema Durga Hema Durga Jai Jagarambe Jai Jagarambe Hema Durga Hema Durga Jai Jagarambe Jai Jagarambe Hema Durga Hema Durga Hema Durga Hema Durga Jai Jagarambe Ma Durga Ma Durga Jai Jagarambe Jai Jagarambe Ma Durga Ma Durga Jagarambe Jai Jagarambe Ma Durga Ma Durga Jai Jagarambe Jai Jai Jagarambe Ma Durga Ma Durga Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja Nijamana Mukuru Sudha Varano Raghubara Bimala Jasu Joda Kupalachar Buddhina Tanu Janake Sumeram Pavana Kumar Siaram Ballabhude Vidya Dev Mohi Arukale Sabika Syavara Ramachandra Paraje Sharanam Jaya Hanuman Gyana Guna Saga Jaya Kapi Sati Hun Loka Ujaga Ramadurta Aturta Baladhama Anjani Putra Pavana Sutanam Mahavir Vikram Bajrangi Matinevara Sumati Kesangi Kanchana Varan Viraj Subesa Kanana Kundala Chitta Kesa Hatha Bhaja Urdhvaja Biraja Kande Muja Jane Usaja Shankara Suvana Kesari Nanda Teja Pratapa Mahajagabanda Vidyavan Guni Ati Chaturama Kaja Karibe Ko Atu Prabhu Charita Sunibe Korasiya Rama Lakana Sita Manabasi Sukshmarupa Risya Hindakala Vikatarupa Dharalanka Charava Bhimarupa Dhari Asura Sanghari Ramachandra Ke Kaj Sanwari Maya Sajivan Lakana Diyai Shri Raghuvira Shiralai Ragupati Kinhi Bahut Barai Mama Priya Bhartai Samavai Sasabadan Tumaro Jasagan Asakari Shri Pati Kantalagan Sanakadika Brahmadi Munisa Arad Sharad Saita Ahisa Yamakumbera Digapal Jahante Kabiko Bidakai Sake Kahante Uma Upakar Sugriva Inkina Rama Milaya Raja Padadina Maro Mantra Bibishanaman Lankeshwara Bhai Jagajan Sahasra Jojan Paraban Iliota Himarura Palajan Prabhu Mudrika Ile Mukamahi Chala Dilangi Gaye Acharjanahi Durgama Kaj Jagat Ke Jete Sugama Anugrah Tumare Tete Ram Duvare Marakavare Uttanagya Vinupesar Sav Sukhalahe Tumari Sharan Mara Chakakahu Kodharan Apana Teja Samaro Ape Dinon Lokaham Katen Kampe Bhut Pisashan Katanahi Ave Mahavir Chabanam Sunai Nase Roga Hare Sabapir Japata Nirantara Hanumatabir Sankatate Hanuman Churave Anakrama Bacham Yama Jolave Sabapara Tapasvi Raja Tinake Kaj Sakal Tumasaja Ormanorta Joko Elave Sove Amita Jivan Palapave Charon Yuga Paratapa Tumhara He Parasid Jagta Ujiyara Sadhu Sant Ke Marakavar Asura Kandan Ram Dulare Ashta Siddhi No Nidhi Ke Data Asavardina Janki Mata Rama Rasayan Tumare Pasa Sadara Ho Raghupati Ke Dasa Tumare Bhajana Rama Ko Pave Janama Janama Ke Dukha Bisarave Antakala Raghupara Pura Jai Jahan janma Hari bhakt kahai, Lord devata chitana darai, Hanumat se sarva sukha karai, Sankat kate mite sab pir, Jo sumere Hanumat balabir. Jai 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 Hanuman Gosai, Kripa karo Gurudev ki nai, Jo satabar paat kar koi, Shutta hi bandi mahasukh hoy. Joya par Hanuman Chalisa, Hoya siddhi saki gaurisa. Tulsi das sada hari chera, Kiche nath hriday mandir. Avanatanaya sankataharana, Mangalamurti Rup Siyaram, Rama Lakshmana Sita Sahita, Hriday Basar Surabhupa, Siyavara Ramachandra Padjesharam, Mangalamurti Marutananda, Sakala Amangala Mula Nikanda, Mangalamurti Marutananda, Sakala Mangala Mula Nikanda. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Jai Siya Ram Baba Hanuman, Sankat Mochan Kripanidhan. Jai Siya Ram Jai Baba Hanuman, Sankat Mochan Kripanidhan. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, yes, Sita Ram. Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, yes, Sita Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. If we know anything about a path at all, if we know that there might be a way to live in this world in a good way, with an open heart, maybe some peace of mind, if we know anything about this, it's only because of the great beings that have gone before us. Out of their love, out of their kindness, they left some footprints for us to follow. So, in the same way that they wish for us, in the same way that they wish for us, we wish that all beings everywhere, all of us, be safe, be happy, that all of us have good health and enough to eat. And may we all live in peace and at ease of heart with whatever comes to us in life. Chanting, chanting, chanting. Good to be with you again. May we all remain together in this heart space, now and for all time. Namaste.